I've got something else to show everyone.
What else is that?
My ass! I'm just kidding.
Am I recording?
Yeah, you're recording. Hold on, I'll be right back.
It doesn't say. Oh, yeah, it is.
I got a package from Canada today.
Oh. What would you have coming from Canada?
It was a Kickstarter.
Oh, it says "Do not bend."
Yeah.
Are you gonna do this off camera too? Oh, what is this?
Beyond the Wall of Sleep.
A comic book.
A Lovecraft comic book.
Yeah. Nice.
With original art prints.
Oh, cool.
And an advertisement card.
Oh.
It says thank you on the back, signed by the guy who made it.
He wrote it all. He wrote on top of all the text there. You can't read what it says.
It says Beyond the Wall of Sleep, Nick O'Gorman's psychedelic comic adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic horror classic. Joe Slater is a simple middle-aged forager who is plagued by otherworldly visions and dreams that have left his fragile mind warped and tortured. After committing a grisly double homicide in an agitated fugue state, Joe has been tracked through the wilderness and put through the legal system, ending up in the charge of Dr. Reed and others at the Geck Institute. Together, can Dr. Reed and Joe thwart the troubling delusions before they drain and break him completely? Or are there more to the visions than mere science can explain? No one knows for certain.
A couple minutes.
So, yeah, this is a good story. Here, let me take it out of the... One of my favorites.
Unsleeve it.
Officially removing the condom. Comic condom.
It's nice when they come with a cardboard backing.
Yes. Ooh. Ooh.
Let me pin the video so we can get a better look here.
Ooh. That's a beautiful comic book.
Yeah, I've never actually read that story.
It's worth it.
We both have that story because we have the complete fiction works of H.P. Lovecraft. But we haven't read the book that we've owned for a year and a half, or
yep.
This.
Hey, you know what's kind of interesting is they printed it on old style comic book paper.
Oh, instead of
not on the shiny stuff.
Oh, I kind of like the shiny stuff, but I do like the old stuff too.
Yeah, it smells like an old comic book.
That's nice. How many pages?
A lot. It doesn't say. It doesn't have the page numbers.
Who published this?
What?
So what was this? Tell us about this Kickstarter.
Okay, so it was adapted, drawn, colored, and lettered by Nick O'Gorman and flatted by Stephen Holmes. So it was a Kickstarter that ran back in March, I believe. Oh wow, this is an actual ink print. This is like that's an actual stamped print.
Oh. Okay.
That's really cool. That I'll be framing. There's also a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it ran back in March, I believe. And of course, any kind of adaptation for an H.P. Lovecraft story into comic book is, first of all, pretty rare. And second of all,
strange, since his stuff is all in the public domain, you'd think there'd be more of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can adapt it. The only thing you can't do with H.P. Lovecraft stuff is put it into a game without permission of Chaosium, because they own the rights to all gaming stuff regarding Cthulhu or H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay.
You could put aspects of it in there. There are things that
have things that are inspired by Lovecraft.
Yeah, you can write a like an adventure inspired by, but you can't actually use like Shoggoth or Cthulhu or anything in a game without permission of
or as a restaurant mascot either.
Right. And but the thing is that I guess from what I've heard, Chaosium is pretty good about it, because they realize that there's so much diversity out there in gaming that not everything is going to detract from their work in order to produce something new.
But so the comic book.
So the comic book, yeah.
Let's see some artwork inside the book.
Sure. There's the first page, and it's just a quote by Shakespeare. Yeah, it's a Shakespeare quote. It says, "I have an exposition of sleep come upon me." And it starts off with the double murder, as you can see.
So it's a little graphic.
Yeah. And January 1st, 1951, Appalachia. So it didn't take place in the 50s in the book, obviously. Almost everything took place in the past in Lovecraft's books.
1800s or earlier.
1920s, that area. So it goes into the it starts off with the murders, which are just kind of described at the beginning of the book anyway, or at the beginning of the story, and then the guy taking off into the snow, and months later, and then it's right away him getting into the hospital. So, these are like mountain men. They're described as kind of almost like degenerate humans that are inbred and have basically very little intelligence, almost never any kind of schooling or education, and are usually maniacal and brutal. So that's how it's described. And the story is that this doctor, when he was in medical school, I believe, he had come up with this device that would allow him to interact with somebody else's brain if they were unconscious. And it didn't work. So he kind of put it away, hoping that he'd be able to use some of the parts later on in another project he had at some point. And he decides, well, this guy's in a coma. I'm going to pull this thing out and I'm going to see if I can communicate with him. Well, it's successful. And he does everything he can to keep the guy alive, but quickly realizes that he's not communicating with Joe Slater. He's communicating with some cosmic being who has been inhabiting the body of Joe Slater for his entire life. And that
there was a movie made of this story.
Joe Slater is in there somewhere. One second. Joe Slater is in there somewhere, but he only comes out once in a while, and the cosmic being is having a harder and harder time holding on. And I'll just leave it at that. Now, you said there's a movie made of this?
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know there's a movie.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I have no idea.
And you should also check out Ibon Press. They got a lot of they did a lot of Lucio Fulci movies into comic books, but they're tying it together in a Lovecraftian way.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm. I think we have to wrap. I think we have to wrap this up.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. The Packer game is on.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they winning?
I have no idea. I have no interest in such things.